today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this look, which was completely impromptu. I didn't really have any idea what I was going to be doing, but I ended up really liking it. It's just kind of a smudgy, smoky, blown out, rusty, grungy look. So I use a good deal of Sugarpill, a good deal of Melt Cosmetics in this. You guys will see obviously later. So, without any further ado, if you guys would like to see how I create this, then just keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to put on chapstick, and I don't use anything fancy. I use the Lip Smackers Cherry Coke chapstick. It's my favorite, and it smells really good. And it also gives your lips kind of a tint. It's kind of nice. So, I'm going to get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is prime my eyelids. And I'm going to be using the Lime Crime Eyeshadow Brightener. And I'm going to be using this because it is white. And I like that because it will intensify the eyeshadows that I put on top. I'm going to start with my first eyeshadow now. And I'm going to be using the Sigma eyeshadow in Ginger Pumpkin. And it's just kind of a, it's kind of like Rule eyeshadow from MAC. It's like a light yellowy orange. And I'm going to start this color right underneath the eyebrow and then kind of just like pulled into the front of the eyebrow as well. And I'm going to lightly dust it kind of backwards in the crease and fade it outward. I actually attempted this look already once and my audio was not working at all, so there's kind of still remnants of orange in my eyebrows and everywhere. Okay, so I have my first eyeshadow applied, that Ginger Pumpkin from Sigma, underneath the eyebrow and then just kind of blended backward. I'm going to take my next color, which is going to be this one right here, which is Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. And I'm using that, I actually didn't mention the brush that I'm using, that I used for the first color and I'm using now, is from Hair and Makeup Addiction, and it's called the Crease Blender. It's a really nice, like, tapered shape that's perfect for, as the name states, crease work. So, I'm going to take this Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie and just use this on the outer crease here, and then just kind of buffed backwards. So this is going to be kind of a transitional color, if you will. It's just going to kind of fade outward into nothing, hopefully. I am now going to move on to my next color, which is arguably probably one of my favorite products on the planet. I say that about a lot of things. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true every time I say it. I just like a lot of stuff. But this is definitely probably top 5 greatest products of all time. And it's from Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics, and it's their Rust pigment. It's just the greatest color ever. It's super matte, super warm and orangey and rusty, really. And it's a beautiful color. So I'm going to be taking that on another Hair and Makeup Addiction brush. This one is called the Detailer. So it's just kind of a small little pointed pencil brush. I'll get a little bit of my pigment, always making sure to kind of tap off your brush a little bit because pigments do have a lot of fallout. And I'm going to be taking this on the inner crease of the eye. So just right in here, and I'll pull that kind of backward. So this is going to kind of follow the shape of my first Ginger Pumpkin eyeshadow, but I used a smaller brush and it's just going to be a little bit more of a narrow application so I can see the blend of everything. So I'm going to take my first brush, my crease blender brush, and then just go on top of that Rust pigment and just really buff it into the lighter orangey colors I've got going on. And I'm just going to continue to layer up the color until it is what I want it to be. Okay, so the OCC Rust pigment is sitting beautifully in my inner crease here. So I'm going to move on to some lid colors now. I'm going to be using this pigment here from Sugarpill, which is their one of their new ones. It's called Countess. And I'm going to be using that on a Sigma E57 firm shader brush. You can see I've already used it once to do this. So I'm just going to take this brush and I'm going to take a little bit of Cinema Secrets Super Sealer, which is just a foundation setting spray, which is incredible. But I'm going to use this just to wet my brush a little bit. And when you use setting sprays to do this, it kind of helps to not only apply the pigment wet, but it helps to kind of seal the pigment in place a little bit better, since that's what it's designed for. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of my product and I'm going to start on the inner corner. I'm going to focus kind of all my depth today on my inner corner. So I'm just using a patting motion. Just kind of like lightly fading that as I get towards the outer corner of the eye. Okay, so I have that Countess all over the inner part of my eye. You can see that I kind of blended it out pretty low on the inner corner just because I want this to be kind of like smoky and messy and grungy and dirty and blown out. So yeah, I basically just kind of buffed it all around that area. I just kept layering the product on top, doing the same process over and over again. So just kind of patting the product on top on my lid and then taking my crown brush and just buffing it out. So next I'm going to transition this darker color into a lighter color, and I'm going to be using another pigment from Sugarpill. It's this one right here, which is called Charmy, and it's a really cute like peachy color, peachy gold with some sparkle in it. So I'm going to do the same application. I'm just going to use my super sealer to wet my brush, and I'm going to pick up some of the product. And I will just pat this on the outer part of the eye. Alright, so after I have that Charmy color on the outer lid, that's going to kind of do it right now for just overall shadow blending. I'm totally winging this look, so we'll see what happens with it. But I'm going to work underneath the eye because I figured out what I want to do underneath the eye. I'm going to start with a lip liner. People ask me all the time if it's safe to use a lip liner in your waterline, and I would say that that's a situational question. It's not necessarily a yes or no. It's a possibly and possibly not. Basically, the reason why some things are marketed as blushes and lip liners or lipsticks or whatever as opposed to eye products is for the most part due to the levels of red dye in the product, because red dye is a really common allergy. So if you know that you're allergic to red dye, have ever had any kind of a reaction from it, or aren't sure, maybe you shouldn't try it. I know for a fact that I'm totally okay when I do it. Based on trial and error, I'm putting lip products on my eyes all the time. I know that it works for me, but I can't sit here and tell you that it's the best option for you to do on yourself or clients. So really just kind of take caution when using something like this around the eye area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with MAC lip liner in Currant. And I'm going to take this into my waterline. And then I'm going to kind of draw a little bit under the lash line here. And after that, I'm going to take my, what was this brush called? The Detailer brush that I used earlier from Hair and Makeup Addiction. And I'm just going to go in and kind of push that pencil around. Alrighty, so after I have that Currant all underneath the eyes, I'm going to put an eyeshadow on top, and I'm going to be using from Melt the Promiscuous eyeshadow. And I'm going to just take the same brush, again, the Hair and Makeup Addiction Detailer brush. And I'm just going to rub this right on top of that Currant. So this is going to help to add a little bit more of, obviously, a purple color, but it does also help, I'm not sure if you guys can really see, it also does help to add a little bit more kind of shine to the area, a little bit more of a duochrome finish to this eyeshadow. So it kind of works really well because under the eye I already have that Countess that's really shimmery and glittery. Alrighty, so let's move on to a kind of fun eyeliner. I'm going to be making an eyeliner out of an eyeshadow, and I'm going to be using Lovesick eyeshadow from Melt, and this is from the Lovesick eyeshadow stack. And I'm going to be using the Cinema Secrets eyeliner sealer to do that, as well as a Hair and Makeup Addiction The Liner brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of this eyeliner sealer on my hand. So this is basically a mixing medium. And I'm going to dip my brush into it. I don't want my brush to be too sopping wet. You just kind of want it to be damp. And I'm going to take from just the outer corner of my eyeshadow because I'm not really quite sure if this is going to seal it or not. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and I am going to create a winged liner shape with it. So you guys can kind of see how I do a winged liner. I draw from the inner portion of the eye, so right where the top and bottom waterlines meet. And you can see I'm just using really light, kind of feathery strokes to gradually pull that color out. I'm going to dip into a little bit more of my eyeliner sealer, a little bit more product, and now I'm going to take from the middle point of my wing and just draw inward. And you can see how rough this is at this point. And now I'm going to use just very small brush strokes to just define this and get this to be what I want it to be. Okay, so I've finished my eyeliner on either side with the Lovesick eyeshadow from Melt, and now I'm going to take a little bit of Enigma eyeshadow, right, that's what this is called, yeah, Enigma eyeshadow from Melt, and I'm going to use my same trusty detailer brush, and I'm just going to take this on the inner corner here and just kind of add a little bit of extra depth and just kind of like buff out that line at the front, because I don't want a really definite line from my liner here at the front. I just want it to kind of like smoke out at the front and then become a little bit more definite as we get towards the outer edge. Okay, so after doing that step, I decided that I want to add a little kind of like pop of something brighter, I guess, on my inner corner. Just like a kind of a bold, like metallic looking highlight. And I'm going to be using Makeup Forever Star Powder number 940. I only have a little sample of it, but it's amazing. And it makes an even more amazing highlight on the cheekbones, which I'll probably use later. Alrighty, so I think it's done. I think so. Yeah, I think it's done for now. Okay, so I am going to add some mascara to my top and bottom lashes. On my top lashes, I'm using just an adorable little baby size of Tarte Lights Camera lashes. Okay, so I finished my eyes. You guys can tell that I just applied some lashes on top, which are 2 pairs of lashes just cut up and stacked on top of each other. And I took like one little piece and stuck it onto my bottom lashes just to kind of extend it a little bit. So now I'm going to do blush and lips, and we'll be good. So the blush that I'm going to be using is the new NYX HD blushes. This one's called Amber. Can't really tell. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to be taking this on a Hair and Makeup Addiction The Blusher brush. Just onto, ooh, come on camera. The apples of my cheeks, and then blend it backward into my contour. Okay, and then I'm also going to highlight my cheekbones with that same Makeup Forever Star Powder that I used on my inner corner. I'm going to be using that on a Sigma Tapered Highlight F35 brush. I'm just going to dust that right onto the tops of my cheekbones. Okay, so we have a little bit of dewiness going on. And lastly, I'm going to do my lips. I'm going to be using a Milani lip liner. This one is a Color Statement lip liner in number 09 Spice. One of my gracious followers sent this to me when my makeup kit was stolen. So thank you very much, because these lip liners are amazing. I highly recommend them. And then into the very center of that, I'm going to be applying the Crown Brush Chubby Lip Pencil in Hawaiian Hula. This color is really pretty. I was really surprised at the amount of pigment in these. They're awesome. And I'm going to switch it up a little bit and do something kind of glossy, because for whatever reason I've been feeling glossy lips lately. So I'm going to be applying the NARS lip gloss in Orgasm. So this is going to be my completed look, my super impromptu, smoky, smudgy, messy, grungy, blown out eyeshadow with a winged liner, and just kind of some warm nude lips. So I hope you guys found this interesting. Please give me suggestions for the things that you guys want to see, just because if not, I'm just going to do the things that I like to do. So, yeah. If you guys would like to give me suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, thank you guys.